first 20 minutes of our math block 3 days a week. So now obviously we have a lot of kids that got it, which is great, but we can't just leave them there. We need to extend them somehow. And then obviously our kids that are low, we need to figure out how we're going to move them to meeting and exceeding. So color code them.
What about if they had a bad day that day, but you know that they know it? Because I have one in meets that I know she knows this.
Why don't you start it there?
Yeah,
And see what happens. Okay, just to be sure.
because there's no way one teacher is going to teach all those kids.
Okay, so I will take the exceeds group, and this is for the numbers base 10B4 to fluently add and subtract multi-digit numbers. And because these are students that have already demonstrated mastery on their priority standard test, we're going to practice writing various levels of word problems, and then we will trade them and solve them.
We need to make sure that they have the addition and subtraction vocabulary words. So make sure they're using some
Yes,
different.
some of the clue words
Yeah,
within
yeah.
adding and subtracting in order to
good.
know how to solve the problems.
Sounds good.
It would even be cool if we could give some of those to our little kids.
We,
Like
maybe
if
we
we
could make a
eventually-
add some to our all-time best
Mhm.
chart too.
I was thinking for the lower guys, because a lot of them are struggling with even, at least in my class, I can speak for my kids, I have the most in there with 8. They're struggling with lining them up and doing 5 numbers at a time. So if we broke it down for the first couple of days meeting of 2 plus 2-digit numbers, and then eventually we can throw in 3s, 4s, 5. Because if they don't have the foundation, they're not going to be successful with, the 5 plus 5. So at that point, I think I need to pull out the chips. Bonnie had a really good strategy for subtracting that she showed me.
What I showed some of my kids in subtraction. So if you have this number 3004 and you're subtracting 7 and you need to regroup, instead of crossing each number through the place values and risking more chances for error, you just take the 300, subtract one number, which is 299, and that one number that you've regrouped over here, you add that 10 over here, and now you can subtract and then just calculate them down.
The zeros are the worst, so that
Mhm.
will help them all.
Yes.
Especially when there's like in a row.
Multiple?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and it helps with that base 10 when we're moving over.
Showing the moving of the chips, yeah.
Because you're really moving everything over.
Did you guys all do chips in your rooms?
So
So
with
that
chips
way,
is that, some of them love them. And
that way
some
we
of
can
them-
bring them back out for these little kids and they can see I'm taking 10, I'm not taking 1, I'm taking 10, we're exchanging it. So that really helped. And I know I tried to make mine like fun. I told them they're borrowing milk from their neighbor and you can't borrow milk if they don't have enough milk, so you gotta go to the next neighbor.